Is for Millie Jackson, right?
Yes, of course. It was somehow
Millie Jackson Inc. Broadcasting.
works for me. Sounds good. Since you mentioned that, have you actually ever considered or being in radio yourself?
I was in radio.
You were in what? You were.
Yeah, I did a radio show out of Dallas.
Okay.
Every Monday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. for 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. I didn't know that. So when was this?
When was that? About 3 years ago I finished. Mm-hmm. Yeah, when the play Young Man, Older Woman hit, I had to stop.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the play Young Man, Older Woman, that was your first
yeah.
theatrical production, and now the sequel, It Ain't Over.
It Ain't Over.
Okay. So give us a little background about it for those who are not aware about the subject matter of the first one and the sequel, It Ain't Over.
It speaks for itself. Young man, older woman. I played the part of the young man. No, no. Naturally, I was the older woman, and it was like, him and I trying to get together. Yeah. I also played the part of a crazy woman, a fat woman, right. And we were all the same woman.
within the first production?
Yeah, within the first production, yeah. All the people in my head.
Okay. and how long of a run do we have with...
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
That's great. And you toured the entire country?
Yeah.
As well as abroad also? Did we go overseas?
No, we didn't go overseas.
Okay.
No,
And the sequel, It Ain't Over, is that begun yet or starting January 21st?
It starts, and actually it starts the weekend prior to that in Milwaukee. We're doing like the premiere there, and we have about 3 days to get the kinks out. Whatever goes wrong in Milwaukee, we have Sunday and Monday to straighten out before opening in New York.
Okay. Great.
Oh, that was a tongue twister. Opening in New York. Yes.
And it's going to be at the Beacon.
The Beacon Theater, yes, on Broadway. I'm on Broadway again.
Yes.
Further uptown, but hey, Broadway is Broadway.
When you first got started in entertainment, did you ever imagine or ever have aspirations of performing on Broadway?
Well, I had an office at 1650 for how long? 11 years. Yeah. That was about the only aspirations I had, was to continue to pay the rent.
Right, and now, you're actually from Georgia. Right?
From Georgia, yeah. And I grew up in New York and New Jersey, and I'm back in Georgia.
Okay. Right. Now, when you were young and growing up, when did you realize that you actually first wanted to be a singer or get into entertainment?
When I was in New York and won a bet and realized that if I sang, I could get in for free. That was about it.
That sounds like a winner.
Yeah, I could get in all the nightclubs for free if I sang.
And this was, say, around what time did you move to New York, actually?
I arrived in New York on my 15th birthday. Well, actually, I arrived in New Jersey, in Newark. On my 15th birthday. It took me 2 years to cross the bridge.
And so at 17, you set up for New York.
New York, New York.
What were some of the hot spots? Some of the places that you used to go to?
Oh, the Crystal Ballroom, 125th Street. That was my first gig. The bet I won, it was then the Palms Cafe down below the Apollo. That's where I got my big break, my $5 bet. Yes. I used to play, the first paying gig was the Zanzibar in Hoboken, New Jersey. I used to play the 521 all the time in Brooklyn, Classic Lounge, Brooklyn, Barbara's My Way. Then I branched on up to Connecticut and started doing a few places up there.
All right, now let's talk a little bit about A Child of God. It's hard to believe. One of your first.
Yeah. That's what people have been saying ever since.
One of your first biggest records?
No, that was not one of my first biggest records. That was my first record.
First record.
Not biggest record.
Okay.
Record.
First record.
First record.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it sold about 30,000 copies, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
On the Spring label.
Yes.
I remember the label very distinctly, white and green and
Yeah.
black letters.
You're not old enough to remember things like that. What did you see this label at last week? Whose old record collection did you raid?
my aunt's and my own. I got started.
Oh, okay.
With music, and I used to have the little box with the 45s, and I remember that's the Spring label.
Okay. Joe Simon, Fatback Band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. One album cover that was very impressionable to me of yours is when you're holding the microphone and you're having this yellow dress and you're kind of standing like this.
Ah, that one, huh?
And
that was live in something,
yeah,
wasn't
it? Was a live album. It was a live album, but I just remember that album being constantly out and that music being played in the households where I grew up.
Okay.
That was one of the albums that was.
Actually, that gown was white, but the yellow lights hit it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I know the cover.
Yeah.
Was that live and outrageous?
I think it might have been.
It might have been.
I think it might have been that. Tell us about your first top 5 record on the R&B charts. Ask Me What You Want.
And I try my best to get it, get it, get it, get it. This goes to show how we change.
Yes.
Ask me now, you get nothing. It was written by Billy Nichols and I. Yeah, in fact, he's the one that was instrumental in me getting the record deal with Spring. Okay. Yeah.
Right, let's see. I'm just going to touch over a few of your hits. Just ask you about what inspired those. Hurt So Good.
Yeah, that was written by Prince Philip Mitchell, and Brad Shapiro had become my producer at the time, and he brought me that record from Prince. And in the midst of us doing this album, the movie people from Cleopatra Jones decided they wanted a song of mine in the movie, so it was already done, so they stuck it in the movie.
Yeah, so you actually, even as far as back then, before you even actually did your theatrical productions, were involved as far as silver screen entertainment.
I had a soundtrack, yeah.
And what movie was that? It was for what?
Cleopatra Jones.
The entire soundtrack was you?
No, I only did 2 songs.
Okay.
In fact, Hurt So Good,
right.
And I Need a Love Doctor. That one you only heard at the credits went up. Yeah, right before they give you Color Deluxe Buy. You heard, I need a love doc.
How did you feel when, that must have been quite an honor for Cleopatra Jones, how should I say, one of the foundation films in terms of black cinema.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel like to have 2 songs actually associated with the movie?
Well, I saw my name up there. That was the most important thing. My name was bigger than the play I got. But that it says Millie Jackson.
Right. Let's tell us a little bit about If You're Back in Love by Monday.
If You're Not Back in Love by Monday. Yeah, that's the song. That's a country song. Originally done by Merle Haggard. I heard it, liked it, and decided I could soul and funk it up. And I did. And it was one of my better selling singles.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and then
I never had a gold single in the States.
Never?
Gold albums, but never singles. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'll take the album.
No, I'm just surprised. I mean, I would have thought so. Okay. Where have you had your most gold singles or gold records?
I had a platinum single, which was Hurt So Good, and Kenya. That's it. Oh, no, I didn't. I got gold for another country song in South Africa, Rose-Colored Glasses. Other than that, it was just gold albums.
Tell us some of the artists that were very inspiring and encouraging for you when you first got started, and even today.
You're not going to believe this.
Yeah.
Because they're all those nice, clean people. Sam Cooke, Otis Redding, was, you know, they were my idols when I first started. And I grew into Gladys Knight, and as I started to sing, I did all of Gladys Knight songs. In fact, the song you're talking about, A Child of God, that was only released as my single because the better side of the single sounded more like Gladys, and they said, you sell more records, but they would just only say, give me the new Gladys record, you know. So they released A Child of God Is Hard to Believe instead of the other side, which I can't even remember what it was now. But I sounded very much like Gladys. In fact, she haunts me now. Anytime I'm in the studio recording and I'm doing a ballad and I listen to a playback, sometimes it's like, okay, who told Gladys I was here? She creeps in on those ballads, you know. Yeah. And Eddie LaVert, stage presentation, I just felt like we did a show called the Steamroller with the OJs, the Shy-Lights, the Main Ingredients, Detroit Emeralds, and The Moment. And wow, I was the MC, and I did 2 songs in the show. And when we went to Cleveland to rehearse, Charlie Atkins had put it all together, and it was, you know, like a musical play almost. And I watched the OJs rehearse. And I had never seen anyone rehearse like that. You know, people usually go up and say, okay, blah, da, 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 da. Yeah, okay. Is the music right? Yeah, okay, next song. And I watched Eddie, and he was all across the stage doing rehearsal, just like he did when he performed. And I'm going, that makes sense. At least that way the band can get the feel of what you're going to actually do. So from then on, it was like rehearsal time is showtime, you know. I had never seen anyone do that, and he was my inspiration.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. That's great. See, have you ever considered or approached Gladys with doing a collaboration with her?
No.
No.
No. Approached Eddie.
Okay.
We were supposed to do it twice, and it never got done. The closest we came is Eddie and Gerald produced 2 songs on me.
Okay, we're in those 2 songs.
It was when I was on Jive, one called Something You Can Feel, and the other one was, what was the other one? I can't remember.
Okay, no problem.
It was a ballad.
We can look it up and find it. Let's see, so the play is starting January 21st here in New York. And do we have a set schedule for where else
Yeah.
we're going to be covering?
We leave. We go from New York to Philly, Philly to Chicago, Chicago, Detroit, Detroit to Cleveland. Then I actually get a week off.
That's nice. That's nice. Tell us about let's talk about some of the actors that appear with you. Also, are any that are in the sequel were in the first one? Do you use the same leading man in the first one?
Yeah. My daughter's there again. Stefan, who was the understudy for Chocolate Thunder, he was in the latter part of the first one. He's back. Al Goodman from Ray Goodman and Brown played my husband after Ronaldo left, so he was in the latter part. He's back. And along with Billy Brown. And so
Yeah, and Antonio Fargas.
we've added Antonio Fargas, yes.
All right. Tell us the decision in adding him to this particular production. What was the motivation there? What's his role in the...
I'm not going to tell you that.
Oh, no.
I'm not going to tell you that. He's a surprise.
Okay.
Yeah. I needed someone to play a minister. And I call him by being the minister and the narrator. And I didn't know him, by the way. We just clicked on the phone. And I knew of his work, but I didn't know him personally.
Right.
And I guess he knew mine because when I called him at home, he didn't hang up. And I was going to get Aunt Esther to play the mother-in-law, but she had a stroke and she was ill and couldn't leave the city. And I hired someone else to play another part, and, well, the parts kind of got shifted in the process, and I ended up with 2 different people playing 2 different parts than what I hired them to play.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we just have to wait and see
Yeah.
everything that's going to be out there.
Uh-huh.
Okay. No
He's good.
I'm sure. Tell us, let's see, about how long is it? How long does it run? The actual production stuff is about 2 hours, 3 hours.
Oh no, no, no. It's not 3 hours.
Okay.
That was the last one. The last play. I know they enjoyed the last play because it was long. And people stayed. They actually stayed. It was long. And the longer we did it, the longer it got. Because we'd say lines that wasn't in the script, ad-lib lines, and they would laugh, so we'd keep them. So it got longer and longer. Steve Harvey went to see the last play, and that was the whole idea, not to make this play quite as long as the other one. And we went back to his comedy club in Dallas, and he says, I just came from seeing that play with Millie Jackson, young man, older woman. It was good. Go see it. Take a pillow. But it was good, I'm telling you. It was, I don't know who told Millie Jackson she had to give people that much money, that much for their money. But it was good, I'm telling you, it was good. I sat through it. You'll enjoy it. Take a lunch. Don't let your woman lay in your arm. It will fall off. I mean, he talked about us like a dog.
But he kept giving it props, nonetheless.
Yeah. But I mean, he stayed through it.
Yep.
So what can I say? We knew it was long. And we had a half an hour intermission that got cut back to 15 minutes. It went to 20, then to 15. And some nights we were still barely making it off. I said, can't pay no overtime. One night, the show was so long, I went out there and said, to keep it paying overtime, I said, okay, you know the name of the show and you saw who was in it. You don't have to introduce it. We don't have to be introduced. I'm not paying the overtime. I'm cheap. Good night. And left. That was the curtain call. We didn't have time for the curtain call. That was it. You know our name. It's not read the program. I'm not paying the overtime. I'm cheap. Good night.
Really, I can see. You're very noted for your sense of directness. And,
yes.
And
I'm probably the only person in the world who could get away with doing that.
Very
you know.
outgoing nature on stage.
Yeah.
Was that something that started from initially? Like
the only difference is I get paid for it now, but as a kid I got slapped in the mouth for it, you know.
Well, tell us your first paid gig. You told us your first paid gig.
Yeah.
Tell us one of your most unusual or exciting experience. I'm sure there have been many, but give us, if you will, just maybe one or two of
most exciting experiences
that stand out. A concert performance that stands out.
Oh, concert performance. I thought you was going somewhere else. Because I must say this.
Yes.
I know it sounds like a plug, but one of my most exciting experiences was the new album. And the reason why is because the then Moments, but now Ray Goodman and Brown, was on my first theater performance. I played with them. And I produced a song on the new album for them, you know. So, and my daughter, I never got involved in her career at all because I say, no, we want to stay family. So you take care of your business and we can work together, but don't ask me anything about your business. But I also, you know, was able to produce a song on this album, and we're all still friends. I think I got a good performance out of them, you know. In fact, I think I probably got one of the better ones, I think, out of my daughter. She is singing, and I haven't disowned her. She's still my daughter. Ray Goodman and Brown and I, we're still friends. And Douglas, the young man, he produced me, but this is the first time I produced him. So I was able to produce him because he gets excited. He mashes words. I was like, stop smashing your words. Stop smashing the words. And he listened to me, you know. And I got a great performance out of him. And so this is really one of the highlights of my career, to produce these people that I really care about, you know, and get what I believe to be a good performance, and we all still friends. and family.
Tell us who did the writing on the album. Did you collaborate on
Douglas and I did a lot of it, yeah.
the song, those two songs that we mentioned, Simple Man by Ray Goodman Brown?
Simple Man, no, that's me.
That's you.
They got that wrong on there? I'm
no,
singing.
I'm sorry. She's
okay.
Still Crazy.
She's Still Crazy as Ray Goodman and Brown. I wonder who they're talking about. Yeah, that's by them.
Okay, and the one by Keisha is Two Sparrows in a Hurricane.
Right. That's who did that? It's a country song. Tanya Tucker.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a remake of a Tanya Tucker song.
Tell us a couple of other country tunes that you've been involved with.
Oh, Sweet Music Man. I don't think I've ever done an album that didn't have a country song on it. Just nobody know their country when I finish with it. The last album had Vince Gill, Whenever You Come Around, and the one before that had What's in It for Me? And what was the other one? That one had two. What's in It for Me and When Love Dies in Your Arms.
Let's kind of stick with the album since we were talking about the album.
Okay.
Tell us a little about the title track, It Ain't Over.
It Ain't Over. Yeah.
The cast, and there was a rap by MC Breed on that one.
Yeah. We just figured we'd do like everybody else. Everybody that has an up-tempo song these days, you got to throw rap in it. And Breed was cool. He said, yeah. So he came and did it for me.
Yeah, let's see. Where Are You Now? Tell us about that.
Where Are You Now? That's like the, believe it or not, that was the first song I wrote for the play. And it's the ending. So the play is typical Millie Jackson. It started backwards. You know, the final song was written first.
Do You Want to Go There? Tell us.
Oh, that one. That's a sneaky song because it's such a wonderful ballad. And he's talking about the fact that his job is going to take him somewhere else to work. We get married in this sequel, yeah, and it starts out, I'm so nice, you know. Do you really want to go there, you know? Meaning, like, do you want to go there and work, you know? Look at the progress we made. This should really be weighed, you know. Do you really want to go there, you know? And by the time it's over, yes, I'll go to your job. I'll even get the mob. If you want to go there, do you want to take me there? That's another one of my crazy songs. So it works its way up from this nice little thing to to the crazy woman is back. I think the one I like is the line I really like. It goes, you may be desirable, but I'm certifiable. So this means that I get away. If you really want to go there. So the meaning of that song, it changed a little bit during the course of the song.
Twofold kind of a
yes.
meaning there with that one.
Yes.
Okay. Simple Man, tell us a little bit about that.
Simple Man is a country song. Charlie Daniels. And I love the lyrics. It has great lyrics. And so I had to change it back from, since I couldn't be the simple man, I wanted a simple man. And what's some lyric? I want me nothing but a simple man. You can call me country because I reckon that I am. But things going on that makes me mad down to the core. I have to work like a dog to make ends meet. There's crooked politicians and crime in the streets. I'm madder than hell, and I ain't going to take it no more. You know, that kind. Yeah.
Let's see. We Got a Good Love.
Oh, that's a nice little up-tempo song. When we first get married, we have such a good love. Yes, nice little dance song. Good love, good love, good love. A real good love.
Since you mentioned married, let's go there for a second. Are you married now? Presently?
This is a play. Okay, let's get this understood. This is a play, and For all of you people out there, you know, because they do get confused. I knew when the spot went on the air in New York. My cousin called me from Newark and says, I didn't get my invitation for the wedding. I'm going, what wedding? I heard you were getting married. And I'm like, who the hell told you that? And then all of a sudden it dawned on me, the commercials must have started, you know. I said, the play. I'm only getting married in the play. She goes, oh, well, at least I don't have to buy you a gift. I said, you can if you want to, you know.
Okay, so it is not for others, it's only the play.
I am single,
Yes.
disengaged in the thought of being married.
Okay,
Yes.
all right, let's go back to the album.
Yes, yes.
With, Learn to Love Yourself.
That's the song with
Douglas.
Douglas. Yes, yes, yes.
What about that one?
It's a lovely kind of jazz song, but it has a great meaning to it, you know. It say you can never be truly blessed till you learn to love yourself. That's the hook.
And the duet that the two of you do, Did You Think I Wouldn't Cry? Tell us about it.
That was his idea, and we collaborated on it, but he brought that song to me. And it's just about two people have an argument, and, you know, and did you think I wouldn't cry? You know, if you talk to me like this or you did these things, did you think I wouldn't cry? I mean, am I supposed to just sit here and take it? Did you really think I wouldn't cry?
And let's see, Don't Want to Let Him Go.
Oh, that's the testimonial. That's the Millie J. famous testimonial. The ones that I have to put on every album. The women will go, huh? No, Millie J. That's the testimonial. Don't Want to Let Him Go.
Okay, and the last cut is Let Him Go, actually.
That's the rap part of the Don't Want to Let Him Go.
Okay.
Let him go, let him go, let him go, let him go. We see in the CD we have to separate them like that because, you know, they were jocks then, but now they are. Excuse me, you are. On-air personalities would get very angry with me if they play Try Not to Let Him Go, Don't Want to Let Him Go, and then it keeps going into Let Him Go. And one of them nice big four-letter words jump out, and they get fired. So we do separate the songs. So you on-air personalities continue to be on air.
Did you think I wouldn't cry? Is actually the single.
Yes.
Right? And the B-side is It Ain't Over, the cut with
The cast
album.
song. Yeah.
Okay, so why did we go with those for our initial singles?
Well, mainly because I like the song Did You Think I Wouldn't Cry. It's a great ballad. And it was sort of up in the air between Did You Think I Wouldn't Cry and Where Are You Now? But due to the fact the Young Man, Older Woman was a duet, we decided, what the hey? We'll go with another duet, you know, as a single. And It Ain't Over. It was just natural that everybody is in it, and it's a title tune.
Some promotional.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can dance by it now.
I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
You worked with Isaac Hayes.
Yes.
Back in the 70s, 80s.
77, 78, 78, I think.
You actually had a radio show yourself in Texas, as we found out.
Yeah.
And currently,
And I know I'm the one suggested that he should try it.
Okay.
Yep.
You know he's here on.
I know.
RKS.
Yeah.
So, tell us a little bit about your relationship with him and how it was working with him on some of your hits back then.
Isaac and I did an album, $25,000 under cost, because it was just natural. I had done this song, You Needed Me, for me, and I couldn't sing it, and it made me angry. I tore it up and threw it in the garbage and recorded something else. And after I came back from the studio, it hit me. What was wrong with the song? I was trying to sing it on meter, and it needed to be sang off meter. So I said, but it would still make a great duet. So I called the record company. I said, I want to do a duet with Joe Simon. And I didn't think Joe Simon wanted me to mess up his image. So he said, no. So I went down to Polydor roster to see who else, you know, with the company that I could possibly record with. And that was saying, hey, Isaac Hayes, the male rapper, the female rapper, what else can it be? So they gave me a budget to do an album. And we did all the vocals in 2 days. 2 days.
Wow. And tell us now, when do you give me the idea, you know, to like do the air personality thing, quote unquote, or to be a jock? How do you guys have that conversation? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, with Isaac or for me?
Both. Let's start with yourself first, and then tell us what.
I did an interview in Dallas, like I'm doing right now, and the response was so great. The station manager said, "How would you like to work?" And that was it. I went to work, and I was doing it, and Isaac and I had a show to do together, and I was telling him about it. I said, you should do it. Listen, man, I'm telling you, it's fun. Took him 2 years to make up his mind to do it, but he ended up doing it. I enjoy radio. I mean, doing what I do, you know, playing records, no. But I did the Desperate Dallas dating game and Ask Millie. So these was things that I created to do within my 3 hours. And at first it was Ask Millie, but so many people in Dallas was desperate for a mate. It ended up being the Desperate Dallas. One night I go, okay, I'll find. Is anybody out there as desperate as this person? And the phone started ringing, so I said, hooked. And then the first thing I know, everybody was, well, I need a man too. Well, I need a woman. And it just developed into the Desperate Dallas dating game the last half an hour of my show.
What was your time slot?
From 6 p.m. to 9, but I only did the wacky doodle hour. It was wacky, so it's from 8 to 9, the last half an hour. So the first, from 8 to 8:30 was Ask Millie. And then at 8:30 to the last half an hour was over to 9. I did my Desperate Dallas dating game. I hooked folks up. I'm a godmother. I got a couple married. I'm serious. They still together.
You still make contact with them?
Yeah, I'm good at this. And I not once. In fact, you know why I really took the gig? Because prior to that, I would go to a radio station. They go, okay, we're about to go on the air, Millie, now. You know, I don't want to lose my job. Okay, we're going on the air now. You know, and I'm going, why do people assume that I'm so stupid that I don't know we're going on the air and that I can't say the things on air that I say on stage, you know? So I said, okay, I'm going to. So then after doing the radio show, I said, look, if I can go 3 hours a week without cursing, surely I can do this 15-minute interview, you know. So it got to the point that they say, okay, come on. And then they start giving me their job. They leave me in the control room and go away. It's like, in fact, I had an interview to do in Atlanta last year. And I came in and said, well, okay, you're all set up. You're on to 6. And I'm going, what? No. I came to do an interview, not to... You paying me? I'm not doing no 6-hour radio show. They had set it up for me to come over, be my own jock, everything. They were leaving me there. You're off at 6. We'll be back about 5:30. No. I'm on to 1. This was at 12. I'm on to 1, and you need to be here. Because if you don't come over here and work this board for me that I'm not aware of here, how this one go, it doesn't look like the one we had in Dallas, you will be off the air in about 5 minutes.
You not technically inclined.
No, no. I've gotten better, I mean, but a lot of they work differently, and I don't like to do all of that.
Let's go back to the question I asked you earlier. Just if you can just kind of cite a couple of memorable concert performances.
Oh, memorable concert performances. You mean, no, I can't think of, because to me they're all memorable. Well, at least until I finish them.
Let me put it this way. You usually shock many of the people.
I don't shock anybody.
First timers,
that's what I'm about to say. The only time I shock anybody is somebody wandering and accidentally. Oh, I got one. I'm in Cleveland at the Front Row Theater. And the Manhattans and I, right? So the Manhattans go on and can come off, and then I come on. And I look. There's like a whole family dressed in black. I think they were Mormons. And they had the little kids. And this theater is in the round, like Westbury. And I'm trying to do my show. And there's these two little kids sitting right on the front row. And I'm going. So finally I said, okay, now, I don't know why you got these children here, but all these other people that paid to get in here, they cannot get what they came to see because you brought your children here. All right, it's time for a few MFs now. Come on. And they politely got up and left. And when the show was over, the manager of the building came and told me they gave them their money back. They weren't too offended, but they thought they had come to see the Manhattan Transfer. They were going to nicely just sit through this till they get to the Manhattan Transfer. I don't know how they figured the Manhattans and I was going to be the transfer on the other side. What a transformation.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Tell us, has an audience, somebody in the audience ever shocked you or caught you off guard in a performance?
Yeah. And I was in Scotland. And I was talking garbage to this guy in the audience. And I was talking about how cute he looked in his skirt. He lifted it. Well, I did not know at the time that, they have these things that look like jocks up under the kilts. But his was fur. And I almost passed out, because it was fur.
Speaking of fur,
Uh-huh.
why don't you tell us about Hot, Wild, Unrestricted, Crazy Love? One of your hits been 19...
Boy, what a segue. Speaking of fur, how about Hot, Wild...
Well, fur, hot, the heat, the warmth.
Oh, okay. If you insist. All right. Yeah. That was on Jive Records.
Right.
Yeah. The idea came from Timmy Allen. He produced it, as a matter of fact, and I co-wrote it.
Okay. Houdini, you worked with them. Tell us about working with them.
Be yourself. They won't jive, so they wanted me to just come in and be myself for a spot.
So you were actually on one of their records?
I was on their record, yeah.
Have you ever worked with any other rappers? We got MC Breed.
Yeah.
Currently at Houdini. Have you ever worked with any other rappers besides those two?
Did I? No.
No. Let's talk a little bit about Keisha.
Yeah.
Keisha, so...
she's mine.
Yes. She's also in the play.
Yes.
And she's had a couple, one or two albums?
Two albums. Yeah, she got caught in the Sony transition from Columbia to Sony.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. When she came to you and said that she wanted to be a recording artist as well.
She never said that to me.
She never said that. When she actually got started, let's say, in the business.
Well, she used to do background for me.
Okay.
During the summers when she was off, she'd go on the road, sell T-shirts, when she learned how to do background, she did background whatever. She was out there.
Okay, so it was pretty much.
But she was going to be the attorney.
Okay.
Yeah.
This what growing up.
No, going on off to college too.
Right.
Yeah. Somewhere in there, she became her cheerleader, and the official say, "Can you see her?" For the basketball team. I kind of got a clue then that I was going to have to pay these attorney fees.
Did you? I shall say, did you more or less just kind of take her into the business, or did you?
No, I actually tried to talk her out of it. But then these days, that means you're taking them in when you try to talk them out of it, because most kids want to do the opposite of what you want them to do. So you just, whatever you want them to do, you say, no, don't do that. But I was serious. I did not want her to be an entertainer. Oh, well. So much for my wants.
If
you can't beat them, join them.
It's December. We're going into the Christmas and New Year's holiday.
Yes.
Tell us one of your most memorable Christmases. One of your most special Christmas.
My most special Christmas. Well, there's two. There's the year that I got ready to start to play. We were broke. And it's like, okay, let's be Scrooge. We had no money to buy presents, so let's also be ingenious here. Let's come up with an idea. So I called this guy down in the Bahamas. I agreed to work in the Bahamas for one night, one show. And he paid for me and the whole band and entourage to come to the Bahamas, and the airfare and the hotel bill for 4 days. And we did one show, and we had 4 days in the Bahamas, and it was great. Broke or not, it was great. We had big fun. And the other one was the first year that we took out to play, and I had big money, and I have an indoor pool at home, so we set up tables around the pool, and my family came down from New York, and my cousin named it Millie's Poolside Cafe, and I fixed dinner myself for $29, and we had the buffet. But I did it. I cooked for a week. There was turnip greens in the refrigerator, been thawed out every 10 minutes.
Tell us some of the other things that are on the menu at Millie's house during Christmas.
Oh, I always overbake because I like to cook, so I overbake a whole lot of stuff that nobody's going to eat. You taste it, you go, oh, this is delicious. And 25 pounds, so everybody just tastes a little bit and set it aside. So 3 weeks later, it's still sitting there with a little sliver out of it from everybody, and at least 3/4 of it still left, So I do a lot of baking. And I fixed my first official turkey, Thanksgiving. Because at Christmas time and Thanksgiving time, everybody has turkey. And with me really not eating pork, everything is turkey. So I turkey it out. So at Christmas time, I usually fix like stuffed Cornish hens or duck and come up with one of my elaborate sauces for it, So this year I actually it was smoked though, smoked turkey for Thanksgiving. But other than that, well, he won't appear again for Christmas. No, there will be no turkey for Christmas.
Really, is there anything you'd like to say to young, aspiring entertainers? Just give us some of your thoughts.
Read the contract. If you can't read, get an attorney. If you can read, get an attorney. Get an accountant, a good one. Pay your taxes. Don't let your accountant pay your taxes. Just let him tell you how much.
So just be very hands-on.
Yeah, you need to be hands-on. That's how so many entertainers, they make the money and they end up broke because they're so busy entertaining that they let somebody else handle that. I don't want to be bothered with this frivolous stuff. But me, I'm hands-on from the beginning to the end. I was in the warehouse with the set last week. That needs to be mended. That needs to be repainted. We need to do something new with that. Just burn that. Oh, yeah, I was in there. I'm there, and I'm the one that write all the checks. Yeah.
So now, the single and the album, are they available actually in stores now?
No, the official release date for the album and the single, actually the single is officially already released, barely official. They said December. I did not get an exact date for December, but this is December and it's barely over, so it's almost over, so it's barely made December. But the album is for January.
Okay, album's for January.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Okay.
And we're cute. Aren't we cute?
Yes.
The cast is so cute.
It's kind of similar to that Raisin kind of effect. In a way.
Yeah. In fact, a brother did this.
Uh-huh.
His name is Reuven, not Reuben, with a V. Reuven Bernard.
Reuben Bernard.
Yes, out of L.A. He's good.
And just if you could just, Reuben Bernard is the fellow who
did the caricatures, the little clay people on the album and the posters and all of that. That was Reuven. Yes. Reuven deserves some play.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much.
This mean Alina?
Well, not necessarily.
I always do that because they were like, huh?
Is there anything you'd like to add? Anything?
Yes.
Please.
Come see the play.
Yes.
Go buy the album. Or if you're cheap, buy the single. But listen to them all. If you're too cheap to buy them, go visit a friend who wasn't cheap, you know. Then you'll buy it. Once you hear it, you'll want it. Do that. We need money. Young man, older woman was over a year ago. I've spent that money already. Come.
It ain't over.
It ain't over. I need more money.
The sequel.
The sequel. It ain't over.
Keep it going.
Right.
Keep
Please. That's right.
Okay.
And just because I'm getting married doesn't mean anything.
Only in the play, though.
It's a play.
Yes.
Doesn't mean anything. Fellas, doesn't mean anything. You can still come backstage. No problem. I cheat on my husband. It's all right. He's not jealous. He won't hurt you. Hi, this is Millie Jackson, and she's killing me softly.